So to continue, we'll now focus on family. Kanina pinag-usapan natin yung types of groups within a society. It can be primary group, secondary group, intermediate group, in-group, out-group, reference group, or even networks. This time, we'll focus on this particular group na familiar sa ating lahat, which is the family. Family is both a group and a social institution. So pag sinabi natin social institution, it's a certain group in a society that has structured or patterned behavior, no? It has a certain structure and patterned behavior that is prevalent in a given or any given society. So the family is a type of social institution that bonds people by blood. Yun yung general definition ng family. So the traditional definition of family is that it's a social unit of people related through marriage, birth, or adoption who reside together in sanctioned relationships, engages in economic cooperation, socially approved sexual relationships, and reproduction and child rearing. No? Medyo mouthful. But yun yung traditional definition ng family. However, yung contemporary definition ng family ngayon is that it's a primary group, no? It's a primary group of people usually related by ancestry, marriage, or adoption who forms a cooperative economic unit and care for any young who consider their identity to be attached to the group and are committed to maintaining the group. Ang pinagkaiba nito, kung mapapansin nyo, is that the original definition, nakikita natin yung traditional definition ng family. That is a social unit. Okay? Social unit related through marriage, birth, or adoption. This one, though, primary group of people usually related, hindi, pag sinabing pamilya, hindi necessarily related by blood, by marriage, or even adoption, yung other legal means. Pwede mo i-consider na family yung mga taong nakakasama mo on a daily basis for whom you are a cooperative economic unit and care for a young one. Kasi the definition of family ngayon nagbabago na. Primarily din dahil hindi lahat ng tao ay nagpapakasal agad-agad. Nako-consider na family na ang isang pamilya without even going into marriage. Ganun yung lipunan lately, and it does not mean na negative yun. That's how the society works in the contemporary times. Nagbabago yung definition ng family. However, nandun pa rin yung essence ng family na it's a cooperative economic unit. Ibig sabihin, nagsasama-sama ito para magtulong-tulong sila na buhayin ang bawat isa. At the same time, alagaan yung mga young ones or yung mga nakababata or yung pwedeng consider na anak nila. And primarily, bigyan natin ito na emphasis pala, committed to maintaining the group. Merong commitment. Napansin nyo dito, wala eh. Why? Kasi ganito. Ang idea is, yung commitment ay nakapaloob na dun sa konteksto ng marriage. Okay? Nakaano siya? Implied. Na pag nagpakasal ka, dapat implied na nandun yung commitment mo. Nandun na yung commitment. Hindi mo na siya kailangan pang sabihin. However, that's not the case. Alam naman natin. Mayroon talagang mga instances na naghihiwalay. Even those who are bound by marriage. That's why the idea of a contemporary definition of family, merong commitment to maintain the group, to maintain the so-called family that you have. So, in relation to the family, meron tayong features of kinship system. So, in terms of numbers of marriage partners, under the larger umbrella of the family, polygamy is the practice of men or women having multiple marriage partners. So, yun yung tawag din, no? Itong lesson, it is mostly about terms, no? Concepts about family. Yung actual na pag-aaral ng function ng family, pag-usapan natin later on sa social institutions. So, polygamy usually involves polygyny, wherein one man having more than one wife. So, yun yung isang lalaki na madaming asawa, maraming kabit, polygyny yun. So, poly means marami, gyne means babae, women. Polyandry is the practice of a woman having more than one husband. So, poly, again, marami, andry or andro, meaning lalaki. Monogamy is a sexual exclusive marriage with one spouse. So, let's be clear na lang din, no? The thing in the Philippine context, meron pa rin certain set of double standards na normal daw, no? Sa lalaki na nagkakaroon ng iba at some point. Yet, pag babae ang gumawa nun, malandi siya. So on. Ganun yung nakakalungkot na kultura na meron tayo. Something that, even up to today, ganun pa rin yung mindset. Laging negative yung tingin sa mga babae. Double standards. No offense no offense meant. But the thing is, hindi na lang kasi ganun eh. May mga, sa maniwala kahit hindi, normal na hindi lang kasi siya ganun ka-publicize, nangyayari na din yung polyandry nowadays. If you've been to some forums, may mababasa talaga kayo, even Facebook groups, no? May makikita kayo na even both sexes ay gumagawa na nito. Sa Pilipinas yung context, because in other countries, mas madalas mo siyang naririnig. Then monogamy, again, sexually exclusive marriage with one spouse. So, sa Pilipinas, yung may monogamy ay mga agila. Na joke. Even, marami pa rin naman. Madami pa din man. Monogamy meaning, isa lang yung asawa. So, who marries whom, under the context of who marries whom, may tinatawag na exogamy. So, gamos is, binding, no? Exogamy is the practice of selecting mates from outside one's group. So, exogamy can be by marriage or religion. So, magkaiba kayo ng religion, tapos nagpakasal ka sa kanya, kahit magkaiba kayo religion, so outside your primary and secondary group. So, or kaya nag-asawa ka ng foreigner, which is different locality, a different country. So, siya, outside your group. Endogamy is the practice of selecting mates from within group. So, typical yan kung sa Pilipinas, kung nag-asawa ka ng Pilipino or may jowers ka na Pilipino, pwedeng endogamy ang pupuntahan nyo. This group may be based on a religion, again, territory, racial identity, and so forth. In terms of property and descent naman, kinship systems shape the distribution of property in society by prescribing how lines of descent are determined. In patrilineal kinship systems, the family lineage is traced through the family of the father. So, ibig sabihin, kilala yung pamilya nyo dahil sa tatay. Ito yung anak ni ganito, ganyan. Si tatay, parang ganito, ganyan. Lalo sa mga probinsya, normal yun. Yan yung anak ni parang ganyan. Nakatrace yung pagkakakilala ng pamilya nyo sa patrilineal, sa father side. Matrilineal, on the other hand, ancestry is traced through your mother. So, halimbawa, kilala ka, yan yung anak ni nanang ganito, ni inang ganyan, ni aling ganito. So, your family is more known by your mother's side. Kala ko siguro kung teacher, no? Teacher, yung mga unang teachers, matatagal na teachers. So, mas kilala. Typical, lalo sa isang barangay. Yung anak ni teacher ganito, ganyan. In bilateral kinship, descent is traced both from the father and the mother side. Parehas naman, bilateral. In terms of place of residence, in a patrilocal kinship system or family system, after marriage, a woman is separated from her own kinship group and resides with the husband or his kinship group. So sa patrilocal, again, hindi ko na nabanggit kanina, patri means father, matri is mother. So, kung patrilocal, kung ikaw ay mag-aasawa at babae ka, ikaw ay titira dun sa kung saan mang gusto ng asawa mo or dun sa residence ng asawa mo, papangasawa mong lalaki. Kasi patrilocal. Kung matrilocal, a woman continues to live with her family of origin. Halimbawa, yung asawa mong lalaki nag-adjust para sa'yo, kayo yung titira sa bahay ng parents mo, kung ikaw yung babae. Mat 3, again, the mother side. Neo-local is the practice of the new couple establishing their own residence. Ito yung mas familiar sa atin, lalo ngayon sa mga medyo modern, contemporary times. Neo-local wherein hindi kayo tumitira sa mother side or sa father side or sa parents pala rather ng tatay mo or parents ng nanay mo. Dito, yung parents mo ay humiwalay, gumawa nakabili ng lupa sa ng isang bahay at lupa sa isang subdivision somewhere na malayo sa parents nila, both sides. So, gumawa kayo ng sarili niyong bahay. Gumawa sila ng sarili nilang pamilya. A practice of establishing their own residence. Then, in a family or a household, as to who holds power, marriage systems vary according to who holds power in the marriage. Patriarchy is a society or group where men have power over women. Matriarchy, women hold the power. In a egalitarian society, men and women share power equally and are equally valued by all societal members, have equal access to resources, and share decision making. In the Philippines, sa maniwala kahit hindi, while yes, patriarchal pa rin tayo, like most societies in the world, mas malapit tayo sa egalitarian, wherein mas may boses yung mga kababaihan dito compared sa other countries. Nasa top 10 tayo kung di kakamali when it comes to gender equality. At yung mga kababaihan ay mas may boses. Kaya nga, normal yun nakakarinig tayo ng may mga asawa na under desire. Meaning, sumusunod sila sa sinasabi ng asawa nilang babae. Not because mahina sila, not because masyadong malakas yung babae for whatever reason, but also because the women in the Philippines are very much respected, mas mataas yung tingin sa kanila kaysa at mas mataas, halos equal, yung tingin sa mga babae at lalaki sa Pilipinas. As such, parehas na may boses pagdating sa pag-aalaga ng pamilya. Then, a more familiar type of family is the extended family, the whole network of parents, children, and other relatives who form a family unit. So, extended families are common among urban poor, sadly, because, for better, for worse na lang pala, because they develop a cooperative system of social and economic support. Lalo kung halimbawa puro mga taga-probinsya at sabay-sabay na or lumipat sa Maynila. So, malamang makikita sa mga kamag-anak habang nagsisimula pa lang siya. Ang masaklap doon, hindi na umaalis nagsasama-sama sila isang compound na mga magkakamag-anak sila. And then we have nuclear family is comprised of one married couple residing with their children. Ito yung typical na alam natin. And the parents and their children, nuclear family yun. Extended family, kasama mo yung mga extended members of your family such as your titas, titos, kahit siguro nasa isang residence kayo, isang compound, ganyan. And grandparents, yan. So, creating a cooperative system. In terms of female-headed households, because again, the changing face of the society and the family that we have right now. So, may mga female-headed households, So, one half of all children can expect to live with only one parent at some point in their lives. Either due to some reasons, namatay yung asawang lalaki, pinaghiwalay, or example dito, pwedeng rason, lalo sa Pilipinas, pregnancy among unmarried teens and high divorce rate. Well, not necessarily sa Pilipinas na high divorce rate, but siguro high separation. Mga naghihiwalay kahit hindi kasal. So, naghihiwalay sila. And again, yung pregnancy among unmarried teens, dumadami ito. Lalo siguro nitong managdaang taon, lalo naging sexually active yung mga teenagers. So, kaya tumataas yung pregnancy rate. Ngayong pandemic, hindi naman yata masyado, Mas tumaas ngayon is mga lockdown, babies, yung meron naman mga sa pamilya naman yan. But again, the female-headed households Teen mothers are less likely to marry than in the past. Lalo yung mga para lalo yung may kaya, no? Yung kaya nila, yung kaya nilang dito, buhayin naman or ayaw ng parents ng babae dun sa lalaki or for whatever reasons. Social problems are caused by economic stress rather than the absence of a husband. Single fathers tend to get more help than single mothers. The thing with female-headed households is that, ano, dito. Nowadays, sa Pilipinas, nanonormalize na yun mga single parent, sa maniwala ka hindi. There's a certain law that provides benefits, rights for single parents. Solo parents, to be precise. Solo parent law. And nowadays, dahil nga dumadami yung mga babae na female-headed households, or nag-iisa lang sila, they are given assistance by the government to protect their welfare, at the same time the welfare of their children. So then we have married couple families. Men and women have different experiences within marriage, and with the benefits of marriage generally accruing more to men than women. Kasi nga, usually, lalo sa Pilipinas, no, lalaki yung nagtatrabaho, babaeng naiiwan sa bahay para mag-alaga ng pamilya. And that's the reality. Even before, that's the reality. Among married couple families, a significant change in recent years has been the increase of participation of women in the paid labor force. However, as women had created more pushed forward by providing their worth, lalo na kaya nilang pagsabayin lahat, mas yung modern moms or mothers ngayon is kaya nang magtrabaho habang nag-aalaga ng pamilya. And lalo ngayon, marami ng both parents ay nagtatrabaho, lalo kung may kakayanan yung mother or nakapagtapos yung mother or merong career before magkaroon ng pamilya, pinagpapatuloy niya yung career niya after niya mga anak. Because that has become the norm nowadays, wherein both parents, it's normal for both parents to have work to provide for their families. Then we have also step families. So, blended families demand both parents and children learn new roles. As such, the lack of support systems causes stress, resulting in high probability of divorce. That's why there are families who have become broken. Again, for whatever valid reason, siguro, I won't be much subjective on this part, but step families are became common sight even in the 21st century, lalo sa mga babae na nagkakaroon na ng boses, lalo sa mga kababaihan na ayaw na sila ay call this, parang kung nararamdaman nila nasasakal na sila, they have the option, no? They have the option. And nagkakaroon naman ng mutual understanding for the most part. Comes to step families. Then lastly, may kinalaman din sa kinship system. Singles. Single people today are 28% or 1/3 of the population. Men and women are marrying at a later age. Tumatanda. Kung 25 to 28 yung normal na edad ng papakasal, iba umabot na ng 30s. So for the women, later, late 20s. For men, siguro nasa 30s na. Being single no longer holds the same stigma it once did, especially for women. Similarly, merong cohabitation. Ito yung trend ngayon din, no? Sorry, 2017 pa, no? Sabi ni Nadine, hiwalay na nga sila eh. But the thing with cohabitation is, has become common among single people. More than 3 times as many couples live together without being married. Sa Pilipinas, normal to cohabitation. Yung mga nagsasama, may anak na, pero hindi pa sila kasal. That's cohabitation. Live-in, no live-in. Estimates are that 1/4 of all children will at some time during their childhood live in a family headed by a cohabitating couple. Okay? So, in the Philippines, meron tayong family code which provides the rights of the family and marriage. You know. Nakalagay dito, all marriage solemnized outside the Philippines in accordance with laws enforced in force in the country where they were solemnized valid there as such shall also be valid in this country except those who are prohibited under these specific articles. So, sa Pilipinas, although medyo ano na to, 2012 pa yata to statistics, pero 500,000 weddings take place on a yearly basis sa Pilipinas, regardless of kung gaano grande or simple ang wedding. So the highest number of brides who get married was seen at age group 20 to 24. Ang typical na median age talaga nagpapakasal sa mga Pilipino daw ay 25 for the women, 28 for lalaki. Okay. 4 out of 10 marriages are contracted through civil rights. Ibig sabihin yung pagpapakasal, civil wedding, so via the siguro sa mayor or huwes, ganyan. Then in the Philippines, divorce, there's still no divorce in the country. Ilan tayo sa dadalawang bansa na walang divorce. Ang meron tayo ay declaration of nullity, annulment, and legal separation. Okay? So then lastly, when it comes to political kinship, meron din tayong kinship in terms of politics, meron tayong tinatawag na political dynasty, which is very much prevalent, lalo sa panahon ngayon.